there is nothing like what a photo does when you need it. At night, these photos kept me going, and photos, like of my mom and my dad, who was real old at the time.
I've become a badass bitch. Hey everybody, it's your friendly host Gigi here, and I'm here
Your
with
friendly host Paige. Hi everyone.
Hey guys, we have a great episode for you. This is episode 14 of Love Within Walls, a Prison Life podcast. And we have a great interview. Paige is hinting at who our interviewee is. Strengthening Families, Pelipost. We are actually talking with the founder and creator of Pelipost, Miss Becky, in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get our pod started for you guys. Get on in it. So, first and foremost, we're going to start with our sponsor. Paige, did you want to talk about our new sponsor?
Oh yeah, well, let me go ahead and grab for the YouTube watchers.
Sorry, people on audio, but just know that you can go check out Pages and our Pages and Instagram, personal Instagram, and our Love Within Walls Instagram were for the video that Paige created for our new sponsor.
Yes, and so it's called Paint by Canvas. I'll put a link in the bio for this. I am like one of their affiliates. So if you use my code Page15, you get 15% off, which is more than the website's offering. So basically, if you've ever done a paint by numbers, that's exactly what this is. But what you do is you send them a picture from your camera roll, and they send you the paints, the paintbrushes, and the canvas. And it's literally, it looks like a mess when you get it, but then when you finish it and paint it, it turns into, this beautiful, this is huge.
Wow, look how pretty that is. That's beautiful.
It took
and now all I have to do is frame it.
It took a little bit, but it was so rewarding. You know what I mean? Like, I just recommend.
And painting is so therapeutic too. Painting is so therapeutic too.
My gosh, I said in the little ad thing that I did that there were times when Joseph messaged me and was like, "Are you asleep? Or are you laying in bed?" Because that's literally what he asked. And I mean, I know some people don't like painting and some people think they aren't good at painting, but this is like something anyone can do. It's easy, and even it's great for like a birthday present, or like for my mom's birthday in October, I'm thinking about getting one of her, my son, and my two nieces, because I think in like painting that, because I think she would like go ape shit. So they are a great company, and they, they know that I was painting a picture of Joseph and I for my, affiliation with them, and they did not have a problem with it. So that's even more reason to support them, in my opinion. So definitely check it out.
And the website again, what is it?
Paintbycanvas.com. Okay. I'll have a link down, or I'll send it to you so you can put it in all of the bios too. I'll put it in the YouTube one. And if you use code Page15, you'll get 15% off.
Page 15. Sorry, I had to throw that
in. I love that.
All right, guys. Well, it's time to start episode 14. All right, here we go. Are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Paige? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that legislation? Paige has got something for us today from the lovely state of Illinois.
I do. Oddly enough, this article is written in New Jersey. And
is it New Jersey?
It's for Illinois, but it's talking about how it will affect all of every state. This is, of course, also an article that is hating on reform. So I kind of enjoy reading those when they're talking about things that they have no impact on. Anyways, basically they're just talking about in this article that criminal justice reform in New Jersey has not only been very dangerous, but very damaging, which isn't true. Again, fear mongering. We love to see it. Not. basically, this article is just talking about how there is a bill that was proposed in Illinois that it would change the terminology for renaming offenders to justice impacted individuals. This change reflects a broader trend towards language that focuses on rehabilitation rather than punitive aspects in the criminal justice system. And to that, I say, hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What difference, these people that are so fucking angry, what difference does that make in your life that we are now referring to people like that as that?
Can I just say that people who are against criminal justice reforms are not about rehabilitation?
Yeah, you're not. You want, and guess what? I hate when we say that, and then the people will be like, "Yeah, kill them."
Yeah, let them. Well, when we were going through clemency, there were people saying all the death warrants should be signed right now. I don't know why we've been stalling. Like, you know, like everybody needs to be executed. Basically, like the hate.
I can't.
And
like, you have something seriously wrong. Like, I actually feel bad for those people.
Yeah, because they want people to die.
Like, I can't imagine feeling like that. Like, are there cases out there that have angered me? Like, this is someone who is anti-death penalty completely. Sorry, I know that some people fucking hate that. Are there cases that I've seen where people have gotten death penalty and they've been terrible? Absolutely. Like, I'm not talking about, you know, personally the guys that are like, you know, kill me, I'm not getting better. Like, those ones, okay, and it's not a mental health issue, they figure that out. Okay, whatever. But I'm talking about these people that, you know, are on death row for killing like like it shouldn't be able to be used how it is. And the way that people can so blindly be like, I support this or I don't, or, you know.
Yeah. Or not even with the death penalty where they say lock them up and throw away the key. That kind of mentality. Like, clearly they're not seeing them as human beings. They're just seeing them as the crime. And there's a lot of these are the people that claim that they're Christian, you know, but clearly they're wishing death on other people. Hello, wake up,
not
people.
Sure how Jesus
I'm sorry.
would feel
that
about
pisses
that,
me the fuck off. I can't help.
That's my thoughts, you know.
Be a Christian. Don't just say vile things out of your mouth. Actually back it up with action. And if you've no true Christian groups that go into these prisons and work with these people and rehabilitate them, then you would be supporting that.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, I completely agree. And it's just, you know, to say that one size fits all for the justice system is fucking laughable.
Yeah. I agree.
That's all.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. That's all. That's my bad.
We get so excited about what up with that legislation, and then we get so pissed.
I know. I'm like, fucking, God damn it.
But guys, I just need y'all to use your brain needs to brain a little bit. Can y'all please just use your noggins, please, before you start speaking vile, hateful things. Thank you
so much.
Thank you for coming to my talk. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and dive into our interview with Miss Becky. So
enjoy.
Here we go. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey guys, we are here today, Gigi and Paige, and we have a very special guest, as you can see. We have Becky, who is the creator and founder of the company Pelipost. They are a prison photo to prison app, all through an app on your phone. You can do it on the computer. It's easy. I found them way back in 2021 when Joseph and I first met, and they were a lifesaver for us. So I'm really excited to have you here with us, Becky.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm excited too.
Awesome. Maybe we can just, Gigi, I'll start with our first question and we can kind of maybe go back and forth, volley it.
Okay.
Obviously, first, Becky, maybe if you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your personal journey and connection to incarceration.
Okay. Well, just briefly, I got into some trouble. I was incarcerated for 3 years. I did have some medical issues, so although it was my first time in trouble, I was sent to Chowchilla, California Correctional Women's Facility in Chowchilla, which is a maximum security location. because I needed to be near hospital setting and stuff like that, that was the only place versus a camp or anything like that. So my first and only experience of incarceration was there was no baby steps. I went from nothing to big time. Um, and that was the beginning. And so I jumped right to the big times, if you call it. You know, it was very, very scary. A world, an unknown world for me completely. I was serving 3 years. I served 3 years. Um, I guess in some people's world that would be a shorter sentence, and others that would be a little long. In my world, it was a lifetime, simply because I was sick at the time, still battling my cancer, and so in my world, 3 years could have been a lifetime. So that's what I was going through also.
Wow. Yeah. I had a question to kind of add on to that. Like, after, obviously you being incarcerated led to the creation of Pelipost. Can you maybe like talk a little bit more about how coming out of incarceration, how that led to, or being incarcerated, how that led to your creation of Pelipost?
Yes, that is very important to me because it was during my incarceration that it became evident that something was needed. My son was a senior in college during my incarceration. I have one and only my son, and we are close. We grew up very close. So as he's going through these very important steps in his life, and I'm away, and if you can imagine as a mother, to dream of your child graduating college is like wow. And of course it happens when I'm away. So um, you first have to make it through that, but then it becomes you made it, you had your party, you're I'm encouraging his life to go on without being impacted. But at the same time I'm saying, son, send me some pictures of your party, send me some pictures of your graduation, send me some pictures. And at this time, he's now, looking for a job, getting his career started,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And he's busier than heck. I'm waiting for the mail call every day and nothing is coming. And it got to the point where I would call him and I would say, did you send me the pictures? Oh, mom, I didn't have time. I promise you, I'm going to get this. And after about the third time of that, I went back to my cell and I said, I know my son loves me, but why isn't he sending me these pictures I'm asking for? And it hit me. He's not understanding the importance to me. He thinks it's still mom, in a different city just wanting pictures. And
Mm-hmm.
so the next phone call that I made, I had to say, Joseph, I don't want the pictures. I'm telling you right now, I need the pictures. And I said, I need those right now to just get me through things and understand that I struggle because during all his time in college, my goal was whatever face I had to put, whatever voice I had to put, I had to show him no problem. I got this and everything's going great. He didn't know my cancer had come back. He didn't know what I was going through. And so I'm trying to be strong. And then so I had to say, I need these right now. And so he got me the pictures, got him to thinking one idea. All these pictures I have on my phone, wouldn't it be great if I could just touch the phone and say, send to mom.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to print them, going to the mailbox, getting, addressing the envelope, printing it, your ink runs out, all this stuff. And so that's how the idea came into his mind, business, that was his world. And so when he told me, like, I got the pictures, like, oh my goodness, life was wonderful because on the picture side of it, to me, I felt it necessary to remind me that I had a life outside of there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was important for me. And I like to say that when you receive the mail, the cards, the pictures, to me, what it did is like, okay, it refills your gas tank so that you can continue because it's hard, you know. And in another sense, I was in a cell with 7 other people, I think. Yes, 7. And they got to share in my life. They got to see, oh, she does have a son that graduated college. Oh, and you celebrate sharing with people, and I enjoyed that a lot. So that was that world, and we got that going. And then he asked me, "Hey, mom," on another phone call, "What do you think if I developed this app that people can, do you think people would use it?" And to be honest with you, I'm the type of mom that anything my son wanted to try, sure, son, that's a good idea. That would be wonderful. I'll help you and blah, blah, blah when I get out. And it didn't really come up much. But when I got out, he said, "Hey, mom, remember I had told you about this and that? I've been working on it. This is what I've done, blah, blah, blah." And that's how it all started. That is the
Wow.
beginning. Literally, a picture, and it was a picture of his new car because I didn't understand the car he was trying to explain to me. And I still have that picture, because little things like that, they mean so much, and it's important.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I specifically, I think I mentioned it before, but when I sent photos to my husband of, I believe it was just like the California ocean, and I sent it through Pelipost, which I usually do it through like our tablet, but I sent him a bunch through Pelipost. He had to comment on how blue the water was, and he's like, "I don't even remember it being that blue. Like, it's crazy." And it's things you don't think about, you know?
And you really don't. And that's the one thing is life on the outside. You do a certain amount to not think about it when you're inside. But there comes a point in time where you have to think about it because you have to remember there's what's out there. And I don't know how to explain it because when you live through it, it's the only way that it's like you forget that outside the barbed wire that there were these type of plants and this type of this and what you're missing, like it all of a sudden becomes gone, and I hope I'm explaining it right. But so I love tablets. I love that you get to see, because at least you get to see people and talk to
Mm-hmm.
people. But to me, of course, I won't stop believing in photos because there is nothing like what a photo does when you need it. And what I mean is, like, at night, these photos kept me going. And photos, like of my mom and my dad, who was real old at the time, standing with Joe at his graduation. And, I would just look at that and say, you have to find positive things. And you look at the same picture, but you see different things. And
Mm-hmm.
they're, to me, miracle workers. And I, that's how it was with me. And I also got to see on the other side people that were waiting. A person became a grandparent and never received photos of her grandbaby. And I would see that. And I was like, when is this poor lady that's on the outside that just had a newborn gonna have time to go to the store to develop
Mhm.
this for the same thing? So yeah, it's a beautiful idea, and I love it.
I love everything about the app from like when you upload to like all the notifications you get, when they hit the door, when they receive them. And it's so convenient. It's a great idea.
And it's a lot of work.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. When I said, yes, son, I'm here for you, let's do this, the only knowledge we had of prison facilities, rules, guidelines was me. I come out and I'm like, I know what it did for the people around. So I know people would want to share, like, so let's put some flyers in so that they could spread the word. Let's, and this and that. And then we knew nothing about county, city, state, federal guidelines, how many, this, that, the type of paper, it was very hard because
Hmm.
our goal was send us your pictures, we'll print them, we'll send them, they'll get them. And then all of a sudden you start getting returns and stuff like that. And then I'm like, well, why are they sending this back? Oh, because at first we put stamps on them. They don't take stamps. Because we put labels on them. Some don't take labels. We've been doing this over 8 years now. And I'm telling you, it is every single week, month. It is hard because things change and our goal when we get returns, we fail. And that's how I see it. Somebody paid us to get pictures to their loved one. And I'm sitting here with the pictures in my hand. Something went wrong. So we have to have people, let's call facilities. Let's get relationships with facilities. Let's find out why. What are we doing wrong? And it's a lot of work. And you start seeing the barriers of some facilities are friendly, some facilities are not. Some officers don't want to talk to you, some do, some have an attitude, some are great. We're in a whole different world where the only connection was me serving 3 years and what I learned there. But I think we've been doing pretty good. I think what keeps us going is the fact that we're doing it for the right reason. We're doing it because we know the importance. Oh my God, we know how it feels when they say your name at mail call. Because
Hmm.
there's no feeling like you will wait till that, and then if it comes, yeah, and then if it doesn't, you're like, oh, and then if it's Friday, you're like, oh man, this sucks.
Hmm.
I gotta wait till Monday. It's like so. I've done my job by sharing that with Joseph, sharing that with our staff, and that's the goal, and that's where I communicate with facilities and with officers and wardens. It's like we fail at our job if we don't get these pictures in the person's hand. And so, what do we have to do that? And that's how it's been, And so, as long as we keep that vision, we have a caring mission. We care. We're not generic. This is all
Yeah.
we do is correctional facilities. We pick the hardest thing in the world to do,
Hmm.
but sometimes it's picked for you. And so here we are. I love it.
I, I love your passion behind it too. It just makes it more satisfying, I feel like, as someone who has, her husband incarcerated to like use your services because as you said, we have so many companies that service incarcerated people and their families that don't have that passion or care or anything,
Mhm.
and it's hard.
And you
So
know
I
what?
appreciate
You're
that.
very right. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
We do. It's my passion. It's real. And, like I said, when I'm asked to speak to people, I don't have to rehearse anything because they say if you're telling the truth, if you're telling the truth, you don't gotta, you just speak your heart. And that's my heart. I mean, that was another very difficult thing, is when we started our customer service and hearing from customers. We had it's before I ran dental offices, and I've worked in other places before, and this was a different world for me, because even the customers that you deal with are already defensive. So we have to show you we're with you. We're doing this for you. We're not taking your money, because it's like, well, you stole my money. Because of what they've encountered with other companies, or with, they already have a built-in defense mechanism. You're not going to rip me off. You're not going to do this. You're on their side, stuff like that. And I so understand, but it's up to us to say, wait, I'm with you. And sometimes I've had to come and say, look, let me be real. I was incarcerated. I know what you're talking about. This. And then, so that they say, oh, okay. And that's why a lot of times we decide to put out our story on how we started. We decide to share. There's not too many people proud of being incarcerated, that want to share their story. But to me, I found it like, I believe in second chances. I am proof that life can go on after. And if my story helps someone or understand who we are, why we do what we do, we're not fake, we're not trying to take people's money, then why not share it? So, and little by little, I mean, those near 5-star ratings that you see on our boards, and those A+ ratings with the Better Business Bureau, they're a lot of work. And we want people to look at them and say, wow, because take the time to look at others, and we work very hard. If somebody puts a bad rating, we're on it. Why? What happened? What did we do? Who? It's like if,
Yeah.
but it matters, because if it didn't matter, we would be down there in the 2s or 1s, because it happens when your photos aren't delivered. So yeah, but
wow, that's great. I love that. Maybe I don't want to ask another question, but I'm curious if you have any like memorable stories that anyone has shared with you after using your service, or like said that you guys helped them in a significant way. I love those feel good stories.
yeah, we do get a lot of thank yous, and from a customer, it was somebody that had been with us from the beginning, and last year she wrote because her husband had gotten released, and she basically said, I want to thank you for being there. I feel with you, you made this journey tolerable, easier, and you made it easier for me to make it through. And now he's out, and she sent a picture, and wow, that to me, that was very important, because we don't get a lot of those, because when a lot of people, when their loved one gets out, the last thing they want to do is remember anything they had to deal with when they were in. Do you know so the fact that she took the time to thank us with a picture of him out, that was really important, because you don't get a lot of praise as much, like for what you do. And what we do is meaningful to us. So we like to hear it. It makes it special for us. And okay, like refill the gas tank on the outside now. But that was one that, because I know that although we hear from a few, we know that it matters to so many. And little by little, we're hearing more and more. One thing that we also do that's very special to me is we get a lot of mail. I get a lot of mail from incarcerated individuals. They love that I share my story. They love that I encourage, second chances. I encourage communication with family. They love that we're a company that cares. And I get so many thank you for helping us, thank you for helping my wife, thank you. I get more from the inside than I do from the outside. And I love that, because that shows me that my connection is not just one-sided. It's also for the person doing time. I do something for, and I'm going to be brief, but I do something that I started years ago when I was just sitting around. I was like, oh, somebody sent me a picture that they wanted copied, and it touched my heart because I didn't do it at the time. I didn't do copies at the time, and I still don't do it. It's nothing, but it was this old tattered photo, and it was of his mom. And you could tell it was like in the 70s or something, because the little writing had literally falling apart. So I put it on the thing, and back then we didn't even have all this machinery. We were just starting out in the bedroom, living room, wherever we started. And I put the thing, and I made him like 3 or 4 copies, and I sent them to him. Oh my gosh, you would think like he thanked me so much because he was doing life, and he didn't know what he was going to do with the only photo he had of his mom that he had in his possession. Okay, if you have a heart, that's going to get you. And since then, it's like word spreads and word spreads, and so I get these letters, and here, can you do this and that? So I start doing copies, and they charge their accounts, because that's another thing that we do. We have inmate owned accounts, which they thank us for too, because
That's awesome.
they love it, because we give them an opportunity to own something, to be responsible for something. They have their account ID. They choose who they share it with. If they like this person, they give them their number, send me pictures, and I've got it. I'm paying for it. It gives them that power. And that's something that I learned when I was incarcerated, that a lot of these people get money and pensions, and they have money. And why not give them that opportunity to own something, and they love it. Oh, they write to us. Oh, they're change of address and this and that. But so now when they want copies, they'll say, charge my account. I want 5x7s and this and that. And it's just something that I love doing. And I love doing it when I get old pictures, because I know what it means. Because it's hard to imagine life. Okay, when you are sentenced to life. One of my best girlfriends that I met in there is a lifer. And like, I've been out 12 years, 13 years, and she's still there, and that's how you imagine time. And they're holding on to a picture from the 70s. So if me putting it on a scanner, scanning it in and doing this brings you something, let's do it. Because so they really appreciate that, because they know that that's going above and beyond just running a business. And and Joseph will walk by and say, what are you doing, Mom? Nothing. What are you doing? Because I'm still the one doing it, because I don't want to assign that to anyone. That's my joy. That's my little thing that I enjoy doing. So I'm like, nothing. And he's just like, okay, yeah, I know what you're doing. But, so that's just a way of keeping connected on the inside. So many thank yous. People on the outside don't have time. People on the inside have nothing but time. If I were to have to teach someone, I would write a chart, and show them the difference of what it is being on the outside, being on the inside. Because waiting for mail call, you wake up, you go eat, you come back, you wait, you go eat, you come back, you wait, you go eat, you wait for mail call, you go to sleep, nothing. Get the kids ready, brush your teeth, go to this, drop them off, do this, clean the house, go to work, blah, 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 right? And then, so I get letters. My girlfriend said that she sent me pictures and I never received them. She sent me pictures 3 weeks ago and I'm like, And I'll log on, and I'm like, there's no order there, there's no order there, and I'm like, how do I let them know that? Or, I'm sorry, maybe, and I have to be tactful and maybe they went somewhere else to order them, but they didn't order them here, make sure they order them through Pelipost. But it is not to badmouth the people on the outside. It's understandable. But I wish there was a way they could feel what waiting and not getting something feels like. That's one of the things that we want and we focus on working on, because if there's a way you can sit down on a Sunday and place an order for the month and have it go out 4 times, like every week, we're trying to create that right now. We're trying to make it easy for people to do that, so that at least it's spreading it out so that they could get something every week or something like that, because it's important. And life goes so fast here. Look, we're in June. We're in June. And you blink and 2 weeks have gone by, and I feel for the people inside, but at the same time I feel for the people outside, because they're like, oh yeah, I sent them 3 weeks ago, and they're probably like, oh my God, I got to get to the store, I told them I sent them, and stuff like that. But we're trying, and that's one of my biggest things, is trying to close that gap of the time, and we have meetings on how to make it easier, and but we'll continue to try and figure that one out, because that's a challenge. It's just time. People are too busy, and then a lot of them are caregivers, and they're caring for people's children, and so yeah,
never ending, huh?
It really is. And the two sides, I love that we're involved with both sides, the inside and the outside, and that's how I see it. It's like it's the inside, the outside, and I'm just trying to close the gap so that the outside can understand what it feels like to wait. And no disrespect to your life on the outside. We get it. But I'm not a total commercial, but hell, we're working really hard to make this easy for you. So come look at us and give us a chance, because hell, and we're really good and we really try hard. So, that's that's the reality.
I second that. And I think both Gigi and I, as like lifer wives, can say that we appreciate that. Both of our husbands are serving, if not beyond life, in prison. So we totally appreciate that and can understand that mail call sentiment completely.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to ask about, I know that you have like the Peli points and stuff, but are there any other like future initiatives or anything that you guys are excited to roll out as a company?
Yes. So one thing that we've begun late last year that is really exciting, because another thing is that we are very aware. We are real people. We are not a huge corporation that doesn't feel what money and the constraints of money are. So I think overall have reduced our prices so many times, because we don't want pricing to be the deterrent. So, but yet we have a business to run, and yes, although we are a business, we are what's considered a social enterprise. So we are a business with a focus on a certain well-doing, like we're trying to better the communication between incarcerated individuals and their families. So that is our social giving back. So um, one thing that Joe came up with is a membership plan. And what that is you pay. First, we started with just $9.99, and you get $20 worth. We even demonstrated how that lets you send 4 times a month for $9.99. We drew the little picture. We want people to do the 4 times a month so that, like this weekly thing that I was trying to get going. And then that's doing, okay. So then we said, okay, maybe $9.99 is too much. Maybe we could do a mini plan, and you can pay $5 and get 10. So we're doubling your money's worth of photos that you can send. And now it's catching traction because people are seeing that, wow, I can send more, $9.99. It's not about getting the $9.99 and stopping there. We want that $9.99 to encourage to send more. So with that comes emails, okay, emails with ideas of what to send. We have a whole marketing team that works on sitting here and saying, how can I encourage them? How can I give them ideas? How can we say, go to the beach, wake up in the morning and show them a typical day, go to work, take a picture of you at work, go to, we try constantly because anything is new in there. Like around Christmas time, Christmas tree lights. I mean, Christmas lights, a street decorated, the bridge decorated. I'm here in Florida. Anything, so we don't just say, give us your money and stop. So that would be easy. We say, give us your money, but send photos because, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes people pay it and just send the minimum. They don't even reach their maximum. So we work hard to try and come up with ideas to encourage so we are working like I said, to try and do something on an auto. Just sit down one time with us a month and we'll spread it out for you. So the memberships is something that we are pretty proud of because we're able to save people money. And then we have special raffles, special discounts when you're a member, discounts on the greeting cards, coming up with more products. We want to be just a go-to place that is a pick-me-up. We've started some giving away free mazes, yeah, free word search things, free puzzles, hard ones too, because we want the customer to be able to go there, download a page of that, and send that to them, with a photo, hey, with a note, with something. And they're difficult mazes. We take the time to go and connect with the people that create the mazes, get there, okay, they create them, okay, we're going to give you 5 a month or 5 whatever. And we download them so that our customers can send them, because I know what mazes, oh my God, anything to take your mind off. So all that kind of stuff is what we're about. So yes, we are the photo to prison app, but we don't, that's just describing a little bit. We are how can we keep the communication going? And that's the challenge. And it's a big challenge too, because it all comes down to time. And I've proven that because I'll share a quick story with you about, we worked out a deal with Prison Fellowship, who we love, and they chose us as their photo provider. And what they did is they said, we're going to try a program out. We're going to buy $120 vouchers and we're going to give them to the caregivers. Caregivers will have $20 to send free photos. Okay? So they sign up, they send them, blah, blah, blah. We give away the vouchers. About 25% of people use those free vouchers.
Crazy.
And so I said, what is going on? So we here start having meetings and classes. Maybe they don't understand the app. Maybe they're older. Maybe this and that. Let's do weekly, come with Pelipost and we'll help you place an order. A few people showed up, nothing. They tried, use your voucher. It's going to expire, this and that. And it just led me like, if they're giving away the opportunity to send photos to your loved one for support, how busy do you have to be not to utilize that? Or what is, and it's challenging. It's very challenging because that's that same message I came out trying to, our motivation. So if money isn't a motivator, so it is a big challenge, and it's a fine line where we never want to insult the customer either. Like, come on, get up off your butt and order. We don't want to. That's not. But please, we want to educate or inform or just understand the difference in the time. In an 8-hour day, what they do, and make a list of what you do in a 12-hour day. And you'll understand what that mail call gets them through the next day, stuff like that. So, that was so those are the things that we go through. And as a business, in it for the business, you don't worry about that, but I want that. That's what my mission is. Like, I want that. I would love people to get it. Yeah.
You're like, help us help you.
Yes.
Type thing. Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. So, I mean, and just, making it exciting, making it, we want to encourage kids to draw, take a picture of the drawings. We want to encourage, come on. There's so much that happens in one day of your life. Be it the way you wake up and your hair, like me, because I have short hair, and take a picture of yourself. I mean, it's like, whatever. And this is what I'm eating for breakfast. And look at my new kitchen, and I'm changing the living room, and anything and everything is news and important. And that's, if I get one message out to people with this, I really want. It's like, any moment in your life is special when you're in there, that you share and receive. Yeah. And it's not just you as the spouse or you as the mother. Get your family involved too. Do they have brothers? Do they have sisters? Do they have this and that? It's like, come on. That when we are incarcerated, we are not dead. We are still alive. We still need or want or something to hear from you. Oh my God, I went in with so many friends. I came out with one. And that was only 3 years. Imagine the people 10, 15, life. That's not fair. It's not fair.
I think your marketing department does a fantastic job at displaying that message that you just explained. And I feel like that's another thing that makes Pelipost special, because you guys are personable with what you post and like how you talk to us, and like you use the right language. You don't say inmate, you don't.
Yes.
We appreciate that, and I think that you do a really good message. Like, anyone who doesn't see them on social media, go check out Instagram. They do a phenomenal job at having a really great message.
They're amazing.
So I just want to say that.
Yeah, and can I just say that I love the fact that this company, not only their passion about incarcerated individuals and their families, it's also about those connections and building that communication between, the family and the incarcerated individual. Like you said earlier, just a second ago, about how, family members, not just the wife or the mother or the father, like more people can reach out to these incarcerated loved ones and form those connections. We know communication and including them in our everyday life is so important. It's vital to making their time, not, I wouldn't say enjoyable, but it helps them get through that time, like you said. And it's just an incredible thing to bring people together with what you're doing, helping form that bridge between the incarcerated people out here and the incarcerated individual inside as
Yes,
well.
because one thing um, I see is I see a lot of advocacy groups out there, and they try, sending cards to people, writing letters to people. They try. Strangers are trying harder at times than family or
Yeah.
friends. And there's something wrong with that picture. And, I mean, it happened to me. So I feel okay to talk about it because I lived it. And like I was in there 3 years and my sister didn't write to me once. And I have had one sister and she loves me, but she never found the time to write to me once.
That's crazy.
Not once.
Yeah.
My nieces, not once. I have two nieces. I'm a very small family. But my friend, my best friend in the whole wide world, every single week for the entire time I was there, she wrote me. And what she would do is she would go to my son's Facebook or MySpace, I don't even know what it was back then, and she would take pictures or copy the pages so that I could see. Come on, that's a no-brainer. It's like, funny pictures that you could share, like of certain TikToks that are allowed in prison or whatever. Anything. Make someone laugh. But my friend did that for me. And I will forever be, because what a demonstration of love. On the other hand, you come out, and yes, you still have your family, but you keep that there like, wow, you didn't write to me once, but how can I help you now? Do you know what I mean? It's like, so that's the reality of, I appreciate advocacy groups. They are amazing, and I love being involved with them because they do it from their heart. Um, but they shouldn't replace a basic thing that should come from family or friends. Like, you don't stop existing because you are incarcerated. Um, and you don't,
If anything, that's when you need it more.
you need it more, and not just them, you guys. So our goal is to help you guys too. Like, and that's one of the things we talk about in our meetings is how do we reward what they do? What can we do for them? Let's look at a gift card for, Ulta or this or that, like something that is just for. And the bottom line is, yes, there are some men that do it, but more women, of course, are the ones keeping it together here for their loved ones and functioning and helping literally two households function, the one you live in and the one he lives in. And that's hard work. And we don't want to forget about that. So And I think that's what helps us is when we have our meetings, these are what our meetings are. They're real. They're and how can we help here and how can we do this, but how can we, because it's a challenge, and it's a challenge for everyone. Everyone could create groups and try and help and this and that, but I think we're missing a point here, a real and I think with society is doing that, is you're shunned. Like, I'll never forget my mom. What am I going to say? Where am I going to say you're at? Like, prison.
Worrying about herself.
Right.
Yeah.
How embarrassing. What's more important right now? Me going to prison, or what are they going to think about me going to prison? It's oh my God. And then my aunt, when I got out, okay, I told them that you were on vacation, but I said I was upset about it because you know what? I got
You're
in.
embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. I got in. I paid my dues. Lord knows I paid my dues, because it's not easy, especially when you don't know what the hell you're doing. And I'm proud that I came out and still am. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and fighting. Don't take away my medal, because I still see it as a medal.
Yeah.
I'm surviving. I survived. So, yeah, there's a lot still to learn. I mean, and I don't know how to teach it, but all I can do is talk about it, and talk about my experience, and I don't want anyone out there to think like I'm trying to tell everyone how to think. I'm just saying
No.
what I see as is important is what I lived, and and I feel. I mean, and based on the 7 people I shared the cell with for a long time, which were like half of them lifers, and then I stopped to think, okay, I've been out all these years, everything I've done in all those years, and they're still there. You have to have a little more compassion, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gigi, do you want to ask about the day coming up in August?
Oh yes, I'm very, very excited because obviously we are going to be collabing with you guys, but I want to talk about Gilo Day. Is that how we say it? Gilo?
That's what I've been saying.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right.
No, it's Gilo. No,
Gilo? Oh, sorry.
Gilo.
Oh, it's Gilo? Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Okay. So, when we first started, this is something that Joseph thought of while on vacation one day. He was somewhere and they were celebrating some day, like, Girlfriend's Day or something. I don't remember what that was, but he said to himself, it would be great if we picked a day out of the year and made it. And back then, we named it Love Your Inmate Day. Because we didn't know better. So we named it Love Your Inmate Day. And so we came up with 8-8 because there was no holidays around there, and we felt people could focus more. And we just began, and he registered it and got the plaque and everything for that day, and we did everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
And so then we said, how are we going to celebrate it? And we started with, okay, let's have, people send in posters. Almost the same way we're still celebrating it is, trying to get the public involved by sharing pictures of kids making posters. They're back there, and like I said, Love Your Inmate Day, and then the 8-8, and put it somewhere. People would put ribbons on the fence. People would do the chalkboard on the sidewalks. And we had a wall in the website or somewhere where they go, people could go in and look at what everyone is posting and stuff like that, and selling lanyards and frames and stuff. And so what we were trying to encourage is, if you're working in an office, if you're oh, the bracelets, wherever you are, if we make it something that you're not hiding, like, uh then it's a first baby step to say, yeah, oh, what is this bracelet? It's because I support my husband who's incarcerated. 8/8 is back then Love Your Enemy Day. Okay, so we promote it and we do everything and we have outrageous sales. um, every year we try and get better and bigger and stuff. But 2 years ago, I got a letter from an incarcerated individual in California. And he wrote to me and he said, with to me personally, and he said, with all the great things that you do for us inside, can I ask you why you use the word inmate in Love Your Inmate Day? And so at first I got a little defensive, and I said, so I started researching and I'm like, oh my God, well, inmate isn't bad. Inmate refers to this and the legal terminology for this and blah, blah, blah. I started doing that. And then I sat back and I talked to Joseph and I said, Joe, am I crazy for letting one person, other people loving it, but it's really bothering me that one person wrote to me? Because when one person writes to you, that means that maybe 50 or 100 or 1,000 are bothered by it and aren't taking the time to write to you. And so I said, I want to think about changing things. And so we started saying, okay, this is not going to happen anymore. We will change it. So I wrote back to the guy that wrote to me and I said, you're absolutely right. This will be the last year you see that. Next year, be on the lookout for something more exciting, blah, blah, blah. So we had to then come up with something bigger, better, exciting. And so we put together our heads and meetings and came up with Global Incarcerated Loved One Day. And what we hope is that one day it will go global, not just in America, and that we will see people with shirts on and people being able to not hide that they're with someone or supporting someone that is incarcerated. Mm-hmm. What we're also hoping is that it will take off to the point of, if you don't write to a friend, a loved one, whoever that has been incarcerated, somebody you went to high school with, somebody your cousin, whoever, if you don't do it all year, do it this one day. Mm-hmm. And that is everything behind it. Do it this one day. And so, we just, it is something we come up with. We never know, we learn. This is a learning for us, too, by listening. And so this year we really want to reach out to more and more advocacy groups. The people that send a letter, I join a lot of groups on Facebook that support incarcerated loved ones. I want to try and get more and more people involved. And we're thinking of doing, like, everyone that buys a card, we will donate a card, and maybe have a list of people can nominate. Because we also understand that not everybody can afford right now, especially times are, oh my goodness, not everybody can afford to send a card. But let's make up a list, sign somebody up, nominate someone to receive a card, and if somebody buys one, we'll donate one. Somebody, stuff like that, and just try and grow this event so that every year we do more and more, and we're coming up with a beautiful calendar, 16-month calendar. I think, we want to get together and with some advocacy groups that will hopefully promote the calendar, and then a way of raising money for themselves and for us. So it's just, trying to grow it to where eventually we do have a lot of customers out of the country that,
Mm-hmm.
So I would just love to say, where if you're out of the country, tell us where you're at. We'll send you a shirt, take a picture, and pose with it. And start posting things like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
just grow it. But that's it. The one day. So if it's too much to ask for one day a week, one day a year. Oh, that's a good slogan.
Yeah, there you go. I like
There you
that.
go.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's it.
Write that down.
I know.
Huh. I love that. We've already kind of started mocking up some like fun little designs. I do all kinds of like graphic design and things like that. So I was like designing like this like pink, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was like a pink world and like a key, and I'll have to send them over to you guys, but I'm excited for it.
Oh my God. We already did our posters. We start early because that's one thing we learned too, is sometimes it's like we're like, okay, we have a month, and then all of a sudden it's here. So now we've already started.
Mhm.
So we learn. It's a learning
Awesome.
experience. We literally started in my bedroom. I mean, Joe dropped off a little printer like this and said, "Okay, Mom, I'm going on a vacation. Um, you're going to take over Pelipost." And I said, "Take over Pelipost? What am I taking over?" Well, if people place an order, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness," and it started, and we would get like 2 orders a day or something like that, and then so where we've grown to is, I thank God every day, because I love what I do. It gives me meaning, and
Mm.
I love what it does for people. So it's so rewarding and stuff to see something that you do make a difference is really exciting. I'm 60 something years old, 62 or something, and I've done so much, and this is really the first time I'm doing something that you can see a result, and I know that it's there. So I think it's just an amazing way to wake up and get in here and say, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this better? Okay, what do we have to do now? And the challenges we face are real. With the challenges we face with people deciding to do mail and put drugs in them. So all
Yeah.
of a sudden, you lose 50% of the people that used to allow your pictures. And I'm
Hmm.
like, what the heck? So now you have to build relationships with facilities. See, you could trust us. We're printing right here. We don't outsource anything. So that's, a whole different other facet of the business is, please let us send our photos. Please allow
Hmm.
them. We promise you there's nothing in them and stuff like that. So it's very challenging.
Wow. I feel like all great companies have a startup story like that, like starting in the bedroom, printing out. So I feel like that makes it more special.
It is so real too. I mean, it is.
Hmm.
Sometimes when we come across, like, we used to have facility rules. I had a little index thing, index card thing, and I used to put the names of the facilities and little things like this, and it was just so crazy. And now it is. But pictures, when I see them too, of us where we started, and of me in the room, and stuff like that, it's like it brings you back. And that's the importance of pictures, is
Hmm.
it doesn't allow you to forget, because they
Yeah.
are imprints of what you've lived. And so when you see it, automatically it takes you back there, and they're like, wow, we have accomplished a lot. Because without this, your mind, it's gone. And that's one thing too, is I want to say one thing, like with tablets, and this is what we try and tell facilities, and there's wardens and the people we talk to, is it's great, but if people are just allowed photos on tablets and not photos, what's going to happen when those tablets are gone? Because technology switches, and all of a sudden, all your baby pictures, mom pictures, dad pictures, kid pictures, everything that you were getting on this tablet. And what do you end up with? And I know the importance of those because I see people holding on to them for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So that's do the wardens care? Some. Some do care, and some do fight for physical photos at least. Like, thank God California still allows photos with, but, things like that. People have to think deep especially if you're in there for a while. You have to remember, because those pictures, or those memories that you are receiving in a picture form, if you don't have them, you will never relive them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I say about holidays, about when you're sitting at the table on Thanksgiving, take a picture of everyone at the table. Have everyone at the table write something on a card to that person. It's that easy to make it, wow, 5 years ago, so-and-so was at the table. Now look, they have a kid, they're married, because time goes fast. I mean, especially for us.
Every time you say that, that relates me back to when I first got with my husband. One of the, probably like 2 months into our relationship, he was like, when you go through your entire day, like, wake up, take a picture. When you're getting ready, take a picture, do this. Like, when you're driving to work, take a picture. When you get to work, show me your, like, originally I was like, isn't that going to, like, make you upset or anything? And he's like, no, I feel like I'm with you when you do that. So
I am so glad you said that, because that is something I'm asked a lot, like during the holidays. People think they're going to upset you.
Yeah.
No. Exactly what he said. I feel I am with you. I feel I am part of this event. I feel it's like most people, no, all people, I can say, that are incarcerated right now had a life before incarceration. So if you're sending pictures of any piece of that life, I hope there's like something good in little pieces of that. And it just brings back, like, oh my God, it's not bad. It's like bringing back the good. Like, oh my God, I remember I went to school with that person and now he's running for mayor, or, crazy stuff like that. But it's life. And I don't know how to express that. But you said it right now. I've never said it like that. He feels like he's with you. That's so important.
Yes.
Because, yes, like he knows how to visualize you driving. He knows how to visualize you fighting with someone. Look at the light, and look at this car, and there's no parking, and look at the mall, it's packed, and you take a picture of the parking lot full. Every instant, he could, if you make it a point, every hour on the hour, take a picture of wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. How fun is that? So, and you give them, like, they don't see a picture and say, no, you look at a picture and you're like, oh my God, look at back there, and look at, and it's, I love that. Oh, I'm gonna have to copy you. I love that.
I love that. It's the truth, and he always says it, so definitely.
Love it. See?
I don't know. Maybe if we want to end this with, like, maybe some words of advice for anyone, maybe us loved ones who are listening to this podcast, you know, what do you, just as someone who is now on the outside, what would you give advice wise for connection, maybe?
Oh, man. You know, I find this, it's hard for me to give advice in a general sense because I'm out. Many people will not get out.
Mm-hmm.
But courageous people like you have chosen still to love and care and dedicate your life to a person, and you're making it work. You need more support than the people who are out here as a couple, you know, and you see the dumb fights and people not appreciating each other and this and that. I just encourage you, if you haven't reached out to your family, your friends, people that don't get what you're doing, I would say try to build a bigger circle around you, because what you guys are doing is extremely difficult and you need support. We want to build support so that without being hypocritical, because I'm out, but I know so many people that I grew to feel
Mm-hmm.
that are in that I support, because everyone is a human. Everyone is a human, and there's reasons for, you know, people can analyze, and you know, society is rough sometimes, but if you can just get a circle of people of support, we want to be part of that support. We care. Surround yourself with positivity, because the negativity exists. I think society needs to really focus on at least becoming neutral instead of
Mm-hmm.
negative. If they can come up to beginning at a neutral point, you know, there's reasons people are incarcerated. And I'm not talking about the crime they committed. I'm talking about reasons that led them to the crime they
Yep.
committed.
Absolutely.
People break sometimes. It's hard. And one thing I do want to add too is, if you have a loved one that's incarcerated and you can encourage them to join support groups. And what I mean by that is openly open themselves to try and understand why they're there. Because I did. I joined a group through Houses of Healing. It's a 13-week program. Back in my day, I don't know. I know it still exists. I was with a group of women, some in there for murder, some, you know. But I went in there to search my life and what led. And Houses of Healing, and I know there's other ones, but I'm saying this one because it worked for me. I was in my 50s and I found out what happened to me as a child affected and why I did what I did.
Yep.
And when you hear stories of people around you, you see them as humans. You don't see them as their crime. Mm-hmm. So, you know, surround yourself by people that get that, because society doesn't get that yet. They don't get that at all. And advocacy groups, I love Humans of San Quentin. Please,
Mm-hmm. They're great.
I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They get it. I like people that get it. So
Yes.
you have to be choosy. The same way in life, you pick your friends, you pick your support groups, but inside you can get good in the inside too, and that fills your soul, and it filled mine. I mean, I came out a new person because I feel like I went in there lost, and I came out free. And yeah, it was so
I love that.
touching for me. Yeah, it was, and I did write a book about it, so it will be out later this year or next year, because from my cancer to molestation, cancer,
Yeah.
prison, all this stuff that I've gone through, and I still am what I feel is a good soul with wanting to do good for people. And anybody has to, if you understand that stuff, what happens to you as a child, people need to know that you don't choose.
Mm-hmm.
You, the human, don't choose what happens to you as a child and the impact it has on your life. And you might just find that you forgive yourself for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
I love that message. And I think now, we have an incarcerated women's book club within our support group. So I think we might have another book that we have to add to the
Oh,
reading
that'll be
list.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. Getting it ready. Eddie, it's in the final stages. You know, it took it should have taken me months to write, but it took me almost 2.5 years because, whoa, when you bury trauma and you have to relive it, it would literally take me down for weeks of
It lives
reliving.
in the body.
Oh man. So yeah, but that's another story.
Awesome.
We could be here
Well,
all day. No.
I could honestly probably talk about this all day, so it's probably great that we have a stopping point.
All right.
Well, Becky, thank you so much for making time to talk with us. I feel like I learned so much, and as if I didn't love Pelipost already, now I have even more of a love for it.
Oh, thank you guys. It was really good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, and we love what you're doing and what you stand for and the passion behind it. And we support you
Great.
120%. So thank you for talking with us today. And it was so I didn't get a chance to meet you until today. So it was so nice meeting with you and talking with you. And your business, your entity is big on, like, obviously the heart is there, and that's the biggest, most important thing for us out here and for our loved ones inside, that there's a lot of heart behind it, because there are so many companies that don't have that. They don't have our best interests or our loved ones' best interests at heart. They just want to get the money, and we see the passion and the love. The biggest thing is the love behind it. So I can't thank y'all enough for
Our
everything that y'all
It
do
is our
for us
pleasure.
and for our loved
Thank you
ones.
very much.
Well, thank you for listening to that wonderful interview. Becky is such an inspirational person. And I loved her story of starting from the very coming out and starting this company in her bedroom all the way now to being a full-fledged entity, society. What'd she say? Societal entrepreneurship. What did she say? What was the wording? I forgot.
All I know is that
Social
creating
entity.
that's fucking awesome. I have so much respect. I'm so
Yeah.
If there's anything that I feel like we can support as like people who have incarcerated loved ones, it's companies like that. So we just kind of wanted to make sure everyone knew about them. And if you're not using them, definitely I recommend it. They care about us and our loved ones. So check it out. We'll put all the info down below.
And as you'll see in our meme of the week, there are companies that don't give a fuck about us out here supporting our loved ones or our loved ones inside. They just want cheddar. So keep in mind that there are companies like Pelipost who have a heart, who care, who are doing this for the right reasons. Support them.
Period.
All right. Well, I don't know if it was me, but it was probably more Paige. Last week I kind of whined on the pod about not having any speaky pipes. But guys, y'all came through, and Paige helped by posting on her personal page about our speaky pipe. We love getting speaky pipes. And guys, this time we've gotten more speaky pipes than any other week ever. We got 5 speaky pipes. So I'm going to go ahead and start our speaky pipes.
A few of them let me know who they were. And just for a recap.
Some of them are anonymous, and some
then I won't
are.
say anything about who told me. We asked for you guys to send us your craziest visit stories. So this will be the first time I'm hearing them.
I'm very, very excited. All right. So Addie from Chapters and Chains sent us another. She sent us a speaky pipe before, but she sent us another speaky pipe. I'm going to make sure my volume's up. All right, here we go.
Hello, ladies. Wanted you to have a speaky pipe this time. And firstly, I just wanted to say I love listening to you guys on Wednesdays. It's become such a part of my daily routine. And the question that I have for you is, what personal qualities have you discovered or developed in yourself as a result of this journey with your incarcerated loved one?
Wow, what a great question.
She always has great questions, though. She's in our group.
She comes correct every time.
I actually have an answer for this, only because Joseph and I did one of those card games last night when we were pulling cards and asking each other, and one of them was something similar to this. It was like, what's a quality that you feel your loved one like helped you? It's similar to that. So I actually have an answer. I would say Joseph helped me, maybe in his own way without trying, just by our relationship, for me coming out of my shell in every kind of aspect, like doing this, the ways I've had to advocate for him, and the people I've had to reach out and email and things. Like, when I do those things, I don't even think twice about them. I'm like, no, like, I need to fucking do this now, or like, I need to call someone important. And like, those are things like I used to get like anxiety about, and I would like sit on. And when it comes to him and things like that, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go do this now. Like, I also think I kind of have gotten a little bit better at standing up for myself, because, having someone that I love in that situation, I'm like, why would anyone talk badly about him? And then I'm like, and why talk badly about me? Because I, love this man and support him. Like, I think I've gotten a lot better at not giving a fuck. I'm still working on it, but getting there.
Yeah. Some qualities that I would say I've gotten like really better. Well, one thing I've improved on is my communication. Talking in a healthy manner, talking about good, bad, everything in between, just opening up and expressing my emotions and feelings, and listening, being a better listener. Also, I've become a badass bitch. I'm just gonna say it like that, because I don't know how else to say it. Like, I've talked to Paige this morning about it. Like, I have become, like, we are as prison wives, we are fucking resilient as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm saying fuck because I'm stressing it, y'all. I'm cussing. I know it's a Sunday and I shouldn't cuss, but we are resilient and strong, and we can take on so much. If I look at where I was before this journey and where I am now, like, emotionally, I'm strong. Little things like, if he doesn't call, yes, I panic, but I'm not
throwing up,
freaking
crying
out. Yeah, like having major anxiety anymore. Like, obviously I'll panic a little bit inside, but then I know, like, it's something. Something's happening. The power's out, the Wi-Fi's down, something. And even when we face those obstacles and those challenges that the DOC, that CDCR, whatever, the BOP, whatever entity your loved one's under, all of that, like, you can handle it, and you're not like breaking down. And I find that it also transgresses into my life out here. Like, when I had to go through, a couple years ago, we had Hurricane Ida, and we lost a lot. Like, we lost power for 3 or 4 weeks. Like, we had to live pretty rough, and I was able to just to roll with it, and just go with it and help my family, because I've been through crazier stuff. Like, this is like just the challenge. I'm able to overcome the challenges a lot better.
The unexpected.
So, yeah. So you a bad bitch, a bad bitch. Sorry. Okay. So that's how I feel. I feel like it's the strength that I've gained, the communication, the healthy communication, and yeah, just letting things roll off my back that I probably wouldn't have let before.
I love that.
So great question. Thank you, Addie. All right, here we go. We got another one, and I'm going to play it right now.
Hi, ladies. This is Mrs. Cohen. I just wanted to say one of my crazy experiences was in January. I had a family visit, and they decided at the end when they come get the husbands to hold the wives behind while they got searched and processed in, to make sure no contraband. But I kept telling them, this has never happened before. I'm about to miss my flight. I have an hour and a half drive to the airport. What are we doing? This has never happened. They didn't care, of course. And long story short, I was held 3 hours past our time, we usually leave, and missed my flight, was delayed about 12 hours. And when I called to complain, me and my husband with the warden, everybody, they banned our visits. And now our next family visit is in July. All because we stood up for ourselves. Love the system. Well, I love you girls. Thank you for everything you do. I just wanted to share that. CDCR is amazing, aren't they? Have a good one.
I have to comment immediately on this just to provide first clarity for anyone who doesn't know. So when you're leaving a family visit, the first thing that they do typically at every facility I've been at is they come and they pick you up. So they're leaving your loved one there. Sometimes they do they check the building and everything before they leave with you, but your loved one then gets picked up after you. So you're never there by yourself. At least I've never been in the building by myself. So she's saying that they picked him up and left her there. And when you're left in that building, first off, there's nothing to do because you're by yourself and there's nothing to access. You can't call anyone. I mean, there's a phone on the wall, but you're already no one makes you feel comfortable to do those things. So you're God forbid, I don't want to pick up that phone and do something wrong. Or I literally had a situation similar to this at Joseph's last prison where it's not that they picked him up first, but they took an extra hour to pick us up, and it was because something was going on with it inside the prison. And I had the same exact situation where that day I was leaving on a flight, and I remember I was having a panic attack to Joe because I was like because I didn't want to leave, but I'm like, I have to leave. I'm gonna miss my flight. I was like, I don't know what I have to do. I'm gonna have to work tomorrow, and all of this chaos. And she's right, they don't care. They don't do anything. I mean, you can be like, hey, I have a flight I have to go to, and they're like, well, we'll do what we can. I feel for you.
They give zero
really
fucks.
Feel for you.
0 fucks. Wow.
You'll have to message me, and if you feel comfortable, let me know what prison your husband's at. I'm curious if it's the same one where I had that issue.
And she said they were banned.
Yeah,
at
I'm
one
curious
point.
about that too. What? And then you have one in July too. How'd that work?
Yeah, we need.
Give me the tea.
Miss Cohen, Mrs. Cohen, we need some more tea here. Can you send us another Speaky Pike and kind of break down what happened, why they banned your visits? Obviously, because you went to the ward and you fought for, the fact that you had to wait there and miss your flight and have to be completely rerouted at that point. And then obviously, how did you get your visits back? Because clearly you mentioned you had another visit in July, I think. So if you can send us another Speaky Pipe and give us some more tea, please. All right. Third Speaky Pipe. I'm only going to say the name. I'm only going to play it if they say it. I don't know. Okay.
Hey, Gigi. Hey, Paige. It's Tay from Dedicated to the Incarcerated. I had a little story that I could share with you guys. Back in 2012, during Calipat days, when I was visiting my dad, I got to know this fellow prison wife in passing by seeing her off and on with her little baby daughter at visit. Well, obviously, seeing her so often, I became familiar with what her boyfriend/fiance looked like. Well, one day, after months and months of seeing her, I went to the visiting room to see my dad, and I saw her boyfriend / fiance at the table with an older woman. Well, they were sitting there, whatever. Okay, I thought maybe it was a family member, doesn't matter. Well, then he starts making out with this older woman. And like full tongue, provocative making out. And then all of a sudden I go to the bathroom, and as I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, I notice that his fiance, who I became familiar with, is walking into the visiting room.
Shut up.
As she's walking into the visiting room, she sees him and she yells, "Mom, what are you doing here?" Her fiance was sitting at the table and making out with her mother.
Taylor.
Oh my God.
Taylor, what? The fuck?
Hey, we asked for crazy visiting stories. We're getting them.
I'm gonna need the follow up to that. What happened after that? Because holy shit.
Did she find out?
I mean,
that's what
Mom, what are you doing? I think it sounds like you.
Mom, stop tonguing down my man.
Oh my God, it would be a throwdown in the visiting room. I'm sorry, Mom. God.
But she obviously missed the tongue down.
And like, what?
Right?
This must be old school because we're not allowed to freaking make out in the visiting room. Yeah, we can't.
I was even well, let me say this. We can, and not usually at the very beginning or the very end, but like the very end, the CO was telling Mike, "Get it, Mike, get it, Mike." Like, as we're, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I can literally come from a family visit where we're having a good time. We're doing adult things, and then come out to a regular visit, and they're like, "Don't touch." And I'm like, okay, I was just in the other building getting laid, but all right. Like, all right.
Wow.
That is crazy, Taylor. I need the follow up to that,
shook
please.
right now.
I'm very invested.
We need some more tea.
My glass is empty.
We need more tea for these sneaky pipes. All right, here we go. Here is is this number 4? This is number 4. We actually have 6 speaky pipes. I've miscounted.
I remember this one time I went to go see my man, and I have really bad anxiety, so I tend to scan the room, and there was this girl there, and she was waiting the same time I was waiting for my man to come out, and her man came out first, and I remember like looking, and like when he came out, they kissed, and I was like, oh, how cute, whatever, and I was talking to my man about it, and then he was like, oh yeah, like that's the homie's girl, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh okay, whatever. Well, I went to go see him 2 weeks later, and the same girl's there, and I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna come out together, like my man and his friend, and she was there to see another guy, and I was like, what? And like he came out before my man did, and so he walked up to her, and they kissed again, and I'm like, what? Didn't she was just here 2 weeks ago kissing on some other guy, and now she's kissing this other guy, and I told my man, and he was like, oh shit. He was like, we can't say nothing. And I was like, excuse me, what? I was like, what?
Dang. See, I didn't think you could be on multiple incarcerated individuals visiting lists. Like you can.
I know when you apply, you have to say that you're on others. So like it's a thing that they know, but you can in California. And God, it's just it's like so like gross to know how often that just happens on both sides. You know what I mean? Like all of like the men being unfaithful, and also the women, and it's just like it. I'm so glad that I am confident and great in my.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, damn it!
You muted yourself.
What did you not hear?
Say it again. You're confident
in my relationship with my husband, but every time I hear those stories, and I'm like, oh my God, you forget that those things even happen, because I mean I don't deal with it, so I'm like, wow. But the amount of stories I've heard exactly like that it's a lot, and it makes sense. Your man saying about not saying anything, because that's like the culture.
Prison code, and seeing it I'll be honest, like I've seen it. I see it at Visit. I do. Where one guy has multiple females. But wow, flipping the script. Chick got a roster up in the
She's
penitentiary.
the one that said, "No, I'm the boss."
Yeah. Play is gonna play, y'all. Play is gonna play.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
These are great. These
I know.
are great.
We got to think of something good for next time.
I know. All right, here we go. Number 5.
So,
sorry.
I went for my very first visit to my fiance, who is in prison for life in Russia. Now, from Moscow to his prison is already 9-hour drive with the car. So I went, only to be told after 4 hours of waiting till the lady before me was done with her date, to be told that I needed a translator or else I wouldn't come in. And that was my amazing experience of my first date that did not happen.
Right.
So wait, she needed a translator. They wouldn't let her in without a translator?
This girl, love her. She's great. She watches us. So I'm going to try my best not to say her name. And if we do, we'll have to bleep it out. Just because she didn't identify herself. And I don't think that she really wants that attention right now. But her fiance is incarcerated in Russia. She does not live in Russia. And I mean, anyone who knows anything about Russia, it's kind of scary to even travel there and then going to a prison. Her fiance is serving prison for life. So she actually was going to fly there this past week and was going to visit him, and they were planning to get married. And, it was a long travel. She got there, as she said, she waited 4 hours. And then because she didn't have a translator, they said that she couldn't go in for her visit. And I'm just like, where's the communication barrier here with them to if there are requirements, those should be very clear.
And they should be providing.
Yeah. But let's be real. Do they care?
No.
But I feel so bad. I'm glad. I'm really glad she got to go on the trip though, because she got to meet his family, and she's an awesome girl, and an example of someone really awesome that I've met through doing this podcast and everything. So I'm glad that she shared that with us.
Thank you for sharing your story, and I'm sorry that happened. God,
I can't
that's
imagine.
fucking brutal. Especially if you're doing international shit. If you're doing international shit and you get here and you spend all that time, money, all of it traveling, and then you get here to find out you can't.
And communicating with someone who's incarcerated in Russia, it's not easy.
Yeah. Y'all, we think it's bad in U.S. penitentiary system. Imagine going to a place like Russia where anything goes.
So, that's scared crazy. In general to visit there, and then to visit there and go to a prison. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that too. Appreciate it. All right, our last speaky pipe.
Okay, so excuse my scratchy voice. I was getting processed for a visit while a lady was being processed for family visits. I guess they had done that right before we got there. And they were arresting the lady because she tried to smuggle in two steaks, prime ribs, in her kujikai. And the dogs were barking. And there was blood from the steaks dripping down. It was terrible, but I couldn't stop laughing. I had to excuse myself. I didn't know. I never even thought about sneaking in a steak to a family visit.
Just get a doctor's note.
Anyway, yeah, it's one of them.
Wow.
Just get a doctor's note, y'all. Please don't get your visits banned for sneaking in steak. What the fuck? That's so funny. Crazy. And that's actually a good I've heard of multiple prisons where when you check in for family visit, they have dogs there. So I mean, they're gonna find the steak. For sure. If anything, they're gonna
bribe the dog. Dang.
And also, how were you ew, was it no, was it how were you
Where are you putting this, ma'am?
Ma'am.
FDA
here.
I'm sure
No.
those steaks were not sanitary. Oh my gosh. Don't get arrested.
Not
for
worth
steak.
it. No.
Not today.
I love those.
Wow.
Was that the last one?
That was great. Yes, that was the last speaky pipe. That was great. Now I'm going to go to our questions we put on I
have a good idea for our next speak pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
okay, go ahead.
Maybe your craziest interaction with a CO. Because I feel like we've all had weird ones.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Give us those juicy details. What did CO say or give you your interactions with them? The craziest one.
Thank you for sharing.
All right. Well, thank you guys for speaky piping it up and being freaking champs and coming in with 6 speaky pipes this week. I can't thank y'all enough because last week I was so bummed, but
me too.
Because I love hearing it. I love hearing these stories. All right. I had someone slide into my DMs. And I wanted just to share this. I'm not going to say who it is. Obviously, it kind of goes back to what we talked about last week on the pod. She said, thank you to have talked about the sexual aspect. I talked about last week, the fact that I had Mike had given me his blessing to do what I needed to do out here. And for about 6 months, I did. And I dated some other people, but it obviously made me realize even more that he's my person and that there's nobody I really want to be with. And eventually I just said, I don't want to do this anymore. But this is what she said. Thank you for talking about the sexual aspect. The same thing happened to me at the very beginning. I dated a guy. He was very attractive and respectful and everything, but I just felt dirty. I really felt dirty. That's the word. But I won't judge anyone to have sexual relationships if it makes them happy. And I think it's only a couple's business what they decide to do with their own bodies. I feel like it's a taboo subject within the prison wife community. And she just wanted me to thank me for bringing it up. And it is because, like even last week I said, I'm going to get flack about not being loyal. But, the biggest thing that I got to say about this is it's a couple's decision what they do, whether you like it or not.
Incarcerated. It's there. If they want to swing, okay, cool. Who cares?
As long as they're openly communicating and setting boundaries and parameters within the couple themselves, and it's nothing hidden, everything's there, it's talked about, it's their business. And nobody's wrong for that. Now you can say, well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Okay, that's you. Fine. But the problem is I got a lot of flack for that when I did that. And I came out and I was very open about it in the beginning of my journey. And it is a taboo subject. It is people they jump on your ass because you're not.
Yeah,
you're not
like
you
don't know how hard it is compared to all of us because you do that.
Yeah. And so, there are people that go out and do their own thing and they don't tell their loved ones. And I'm going to say it's not my business. For me personally, that's not how I want to run my relationship. But this was Michael's thing. He told me this. He gave me this grace, this blessing. And he said, do what you need to do. I just don't want to know about it. And so there are couples out there that are doing that. And, hey, there's couples that are like, hey, do what you're doing and let me know about it. Like, that's their business.
Why does anyone care? It's the same thing as like being angry about people that are in relationships with incarcerated people. Are you, the F's, are you feeding me, fucking me, financing me? Like, no? Okay, then please don't worry about what I'm doing.
Bye. That's what I got to say. Every couple's going to have their own rules, parameters, their own thing. Even out here, couples have their own thing. And, every couple's going to do what they want to do. So as long as it's healthily communicated between the two people, it's nothing wrong with that. People out here have polyamory, threesomes, swinging, like you said. That's the couple's
It's 2024,
decision
guys.
as a
When are we going to stop caring
couple.
about other people?
Build a bridge
Mm-hmm.
and get over it. Anyway, okay. So thank you for that comment. I do appreciate that. Lulu came through.
Yeah.
We missed our Lulu girl last week. She asked, do you have little rituals? I sleep with my man's clothes next to me and it helps a lot.
I have like his stuffies he's gotten me and stuff, but like, I mean, rituals maybe like we don't go to bed without like talking on the phone, or like, you know, like without, we don't go to bed angry, you know, all those things. So like maybe that. And then like, you know, sometimes on like Saturday nights we watch SNL, like little things like that. Anything that we can do to make it, you know, we try to do like date nights, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I do the same thing. I have Mike's wife beater, his sweaty, stinky yard wife beater. And I asked him to make it extra. I told him to wear it like 4 days in a row and don't wash it. And, you know, just rub your sweat all over it. I have that and I sleep with that next to me at night. We do reading. I read to him. I read a chapter of a book every night. And what else? We watch shows together. We're doing carnivore diet. We're on a 14-day carnivore diet. We're doing that together. So we do little things to kind of together to be, you know, present in each other's lives, whether we're together or not. But I guess the biggest thing is I do sleep with a shirt, and I take it with me when I go travel.
That's so cute. Now I feel like I need to do that.
Yeah.
I have one.
Shirt, Paige.
I have.
Can you smuggle out a shirt?
I have
okay,
many.
good.
I have his sweatshirt. I have his boxers. I'm like, give me all of it. You don't really even need any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want your Kleenex. Right. Give me your Kleenex.
But after we have visits, he'll be like, I found my hair on you. And I'm like, I know you kept that on purpose.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. All right. Jay Lynn asked Paige, for you, what is the doctor's note Paige got to take fresh food into family visits?
If you want to message me, you can. That might just be easier. The only reason I say that is because I've learned the very fun, not so fun way that each prison has different requirements for what your doctor's note is. The last one I was at was different, and then this one, it's even more specific. So maybe just message me, and if you know your loved one's at one of those, I can definitely show you what mine is. But I can also just tell you like the general idea too.
Okay. All right. Well, that ends all of our questions and Speaky Pipes. So on Friday, we will post a new question bank. Send us some questions, comments, or send us a Speaky Pipe. We love them. And Paige, you said, what was the craziest interaction you've had with a CO? That is our topic. Unless you have something else you just want to brag, share, cry, rant, whatever. Yeah. We are here for it. Bring it, please. All right. Paige, it's time. It's time. What time is it? It's time for the meme.
The meme of the week doesn't have words yet, but that makes it even better because we'll add them.
Y'all, I'm so excited about this meme because we all felt it the past, I don't know, couple months. I feel like it's been super spotty. It is Securus. And guess what? It's a nationwide power outage. It's a nationwide system outage.
Securus when the power's out.
They don't give a shit.
Yep. That was a live look.
Because JP and Securus be out all the fucking time.
Thankfully,
lately.
That's one in California we don't have to deal with. So, knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah. But JP and Securus, y'all.
I feel like that about GTL, so I'm sure.
Yeah, but the amount of outages they've had, nationwide outages they've had in the past like just the past couple weeks, months.
We have a lot, but they come ridiculous. In like spurts. Like it'll be like it just doesn't work for 2 hours, and it's crazy because when it doesn't work for us, it doesn't work for the men either. Like they'll be like they can't even open their tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Quality.
Yep. It's the same. It's the same. Yeah. So a company that doesn't care.
The opposite of Pelipost, completely.
Yes. Well, that's all I have today.
I have one
Paige, do
thing
you have
to
anything
mention
else?
that is
Okay.
kind of a new exciting adventure for Gigi and I. We are going to be creating, well, we created it, we're working on, vamping it. We are making a Patreon. Yay. And not the OnlyFans kind of Patreon that you might be thinking of, but like still kind of like, on the riskier side of things. Yeah,
I'm
Gigi,
twerking
for
over
those who
here.
can't see, she's over here twerking.
Okay.
We are basically going to put, like X-rated stories on there that we have, maybe some things that we wouldn't ever talk about on YouTube, or we could get in trouble for talking about on YouTube. Maybe like more personal Q&As about ourselves, and the more X-rated side of prison life that we would prefer to keep behind a paywall. And we wouldn't make it crazy or anything. I think Gigi and I were talking like $3 or something, and just that helps us, goes towards us making this pod, and yeah,
and extra
sure.
content for sure. Oh, and I forgot. I have one thing. Two things I forgot. Yes. So we have our book club in full swing. We are having our first book club meeting for this book, Love in the Time of Incarceration, also known as Love Lockdown, on June 13th in our Facebook group, Love Within Walls. So come over and join and share in analyzing the stories out of this book. Also, June 10th through 14th, we have our official, I'm so excited because I've been planning this out, our Camp Love Within Walls. It's like basically we're going to be doing lives. We're going to be doing baking. We're going to be doing making mocktails and cocktails. We're going to be doing game night. We're going to be doing face masks, homemade face masks. And then we're going to have a campfire. There it is. Paige with the banner. She does such a great job. Look at that. Look how cute that is. And we're going to be doing like indoor s'mores. We're going to be doing, and it's all going to culminate at the end of the week with a campfire, G and I, where we get to hang out, have our little cocktails and mocktails or s'mores, whatever you want to bring, and just share in the community and share and meet other women on this journey. So I'm very, very excited about it. And we have camp counselors,
we got little stickers.
It'll be fun. Yes, I'm very, very excited. So please look forward to that. Please come join our Facebook group, Love Within Walls. Answer the questions, please. And that will be taking place June 10th through 14th. Book club meeting is June 13th.
Period.
So, boom. Got a lot coming on
Busy
in
girls.
June. Yep. And then we have our July Nashville takeover. Boom. So, boom. I won't say anything else about that, but you got to join our Facebook group. So, anyway, I forgot what I was supposed to talk about. Okay. So we're gonna be busy this summer. Love Within Walls.
That's how we like it. That's how we like to be, because life is fucking always crazy.
Yep. It's summertime. I can't sing, but I pretend I can. Let's just sit back and unwind. All right.
No, I didn't sleep last night, so I'm like.
Well, we love you guys. Keep sending us, slide into our DMs, send us those speaky pipes, answer if you have questions, put them in. We love you so much. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Just wanted to say that. So you are helping us take over the world.
Breaking the stigma.
And we love you for it. And we hope you enjoyed the interview. Breaking the stigma one fucking day at a time. Boo. We need a hashtag. What's our hashtag for this one?
And I need to pick a emoji. Hello. See, we're all over the place.
Oh yeah, emoji. We are.
I'm just gonna
take over the world. We're gonna take over the world. Ring ring. Take over the world. All right. Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
Is it a fairy?
It's a fairy.
Is it Tinkerbell?
Leave the fairy, guys.
Okay, perfect. Drop us a little sprinkle of magic pixie dust. It's a pixie. It's a pixie. Yes. And I want to say this. I forgot. It's June 2nd. Yay, Happy Pride Month, everybody. We love you guys. We love you. Love is love. We love you guys. We know that because we also get the prejudice and the discrimination. So we love you guys. Love y'all. And we'll see you next week, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye. Besitos.